and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World. I'm your host, Marie Cato. Today we're coming to you from the European Financial Congress in Sopot, and we have the opportunity to talk about AI in business, and I'm joined by Grzegorz Paskudzki, who is the Business Consulting Director at Asseco. And Asseco is Poland's largest IT company, I believe, and one of Poland's first startups. And you're also listed on the Warsaw Stock Exchange, so you have a great overview of what is happening in the industry. And I wanted to begin by talking about AI, but in a sort of broader perspective, broader business perspective, actually, because there's a lot of skepticism about AI. Some people really love it. Some people want to distance themselves from it. Is it a bit of a hype issue, or is this really a turning point for the industry, something that we have to embrace and really get on with?
Mm-hmm. So we actually ask ourselves exactly the same question, Asseco as a company, because we just finished the AI strategy for our own purposes. And we ask ourselves this question, and the answer was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's hype, it doesn't matter if it's going to be yet another pivotal moment like internet was quite a few years ago, or it doesn't matter if this is just a new technology that we can harvest, that we can use to optimize the way that we are working. And this is exactly the same way that we are thinking when we are discussing the opportunities that AI is bringing to our clients. So if this is just a new technology that is going to help us to be a little bit more competitive, to deliver certain things that we are working with our clients faster, then great. We're gonna be better than doing this. And if it's the pivotal moment, then we still have to train to prepare ourselves for this one moment in time when it is going to become certain that AI is going to change the world that we are living now.
From a business perspective, there are risks that still have to be addressed, they need to be managed. How do you see that from Asseco's point of view, but also from the broader business perspective? So
for us, it's a little bit easier, I believe, because we are mostly, my team is mostly working with a financial institutions. I think that this is the main reason why I'm here. So for us as a tech company, it's a little bit easier because we do not have all those regulations. They are attached to us in a little bit different way. And also for us, the 2/3 of my company, those are developers. And using AI to help them produce the code, to produce the software faster and more effective way, it's a little bit easier and a little bit less stressed by the regulations than implementing solutions for our customers. So this is also the reason why we agreed that it doesn't matter which way this technology is going to go. We have to be focused on it. We have to start implementing it even in small batches on the whole process in a way that we are delivering the software to our customers.
And in terms of AI development, obviously it's probably a little bit hard to assess, but where would you say the development level is in terms of the long journey ahead?
To be honest, we again did exactly the same thing. So it's being called the SDLC process. So this is a software development process. And we can distinguish 11, 12 phases in a way that you are delivering software. So first you are preparing the business requirements, then you are preparing the UX, UI, then you are coding, then you are testing, and so on and so on. And on each and every step, we are able to use artificial intelligence to help us. So, for example, if we are coding, we are using AI to help us to produce the code. We have specific applications, systems that we build that are based on AI that are preparing for us the use cases, the test use cases. So we don't need people now. If we have a good documentation, we can prepare the test cases by ourselves. When the application, when the software is already working, so the world is changing. So you are using certain components in the application that are getting outdated in a course of time, that can be breached from the outside world. And so we are using the AI to actually test those bits and pieces of our software, our systems, automatically. And the AI is actually changing bits of the code by itself. It's upgrading the parts out the code that we are using to make sure that our software is safe. So on every stage that we are delivering software for our customers, we are already trying to use artificial intelligence to help us.
In terms of AI implemented in finance specifically, can you give us some examples of how that's done and perhaps some challenges that might be experienced?
More than happy. Let me use, I will try to use two use cases to also explain what we are doing. So there are things that everybody is already doing, so implementing the chatbots that are based on large language models. So this is something that we are doing as well. Mostly we're working with the major banks, with the big banks to deliver this type of the solutions. And the challenges are regulatory. So we're still trying to figure out the way with our clients how we could push those solutions to the outside world, because it's going to be a little bit harder than delivering solutions that are based on, for example, the internal knowledge base. And the other use cases that we are delivering, and we already have a couple of them, is actually helping our clients to navigate the regulations. So I will give you the specific example. Every year, every major bank, has to report to the Polish FSA. This is called BEYOND, so this is the regulatory process. This BEYOND, this is a questionnaire that is a couple of hundred of questions. And you have to answer those questions based on your internal regulations, based on the data from your financial statement, based on the risk that you are tackling in a certain year, and so on and so on. So we build the application for our customers that is doing this process semi-automatically. So instead of going through thousands of pages of the documents, the AI is actually searching the answers to the questions that the Polish regulator is actually asking those banks to answer. Asseco is very strong, and we are very proud of it, that we are strongly supporting also the cooperative banks. So those are smaller institutions. They do not have the access to the same knowledge, to the same technology, to the same huge number of specialist people. And also the budgets there are a little bit different. And also we were trying to figure out a way how we could help them by using and implementing AI to be a little bit more competitive on the market.
And I wanted to also ask about there are technologies that are a little bit too challenging to implement, and there are concerns around blockchain. What would you say to that? How could you explain that?
It's a hard question. I know that there is a comparison to a blockchain pretty often happening, that there was a hype. I know that if we were here like 5 years ago, I guess, I would assume that the same number of the discussions was about the blockchain back then as it is right now about the AI, but this technology didn't yet come to we weren't able to harvest it in a way that we are already harvesting the fruits of the artificial intelligence. So in my opinion, I think that the AI is way past the blockchain phase when it was at the biggest hype of it.
And what about quantum technology? How is that influencing?
This is something that we are looking at. Because when we look at the history of the banking here in Poland, I would distinguish at least three pivotal moments. First of them was at the beginning of the 90s when the previous system collapsed and we started to have traditional banks in our landscape. The access to the banks became common to everyone. Then we had the internet, and we had the uprisal of the internet and the mobile banking. And now we have an AI that is actually reshaping the way that we're thinking about the banking. And we're trying to figure out what's going to be the next step. And one of the ideas that we have is actually quantum computing. And the reason why we are looking at this, I will give you two reasons. The first one is the quantum computing is actually going to increase the computation power exactly in the cases that are required to keep on building and developing AI models. So if we are expecting yet another huge leap forward in terms of the AI, quantum computing is actually going to help us with that. And the second big reason why we're looking at quantum computing is that there is a saying that the quantum computers, they might break everything that we have in terms of the security at this point. That would mean that there's going to be a huge effort to find the data, to decode this data and start coding it using the quantum technology. So these two elements, in our opinion, if the quantum computing is going to keep on the pace that is developing right now, in our opinion, might become the next AI. I'm hoping they are going to become the next AI, not the next blockchain.
Sounds very exciting. I mean, you have to remember that I'm not an expert the way that you are, but I just noticed that in all the answers you gave me, there was no mention of people. So that's one of the concerns that people have when it comes to AI versus people. Where do people fit in? People are obviously worried about losing their jobs, that AI will replace them. So can you just reassure perhaps our viewers, where do they fit in when it comes to AI taking over?
So these are not going to be my words, but I will use something that Andrzej Dragan has said many times. We are not supposed to be afraid of that the AI is going to take our jobs. The AI is going to give us the ability so that our jobs are going to become even more creative, even more exciting. So we're going to be able to do more using AI than we used to be able to do previously. So, and this is, I can even give you the example that is based on this conference. So I'm not an art designer or graphic specialist, but I use the AI tools to help me to develop graphics, some animations that we're going to be using during our discussion. And normally, preparing the presentation like that would take me, I would say, maybe 20 hours, maybe 30 hours. I spent over 100 doing that. So actually, AI gives me more job to do than it would be previously.
And at Asseco, to what extent would you say that AI has really changed your strategy? How have you implemented AI in the last few years?
We are too early on our road to implement our strategy to say that AI has already changed something dramatically. But again, I will use something that Mark Zuckerberg said also a couple months ago on one of his interviews. He said that they are already working on AI agents that's going to be able to develop code that it's going to be on a level quality of the mid developer. So if this is true, that would mean that we in Asseco, we have to go exactly the same way, because our future is also based on a way how effective we are in developing code. So this is why we've been working very hard on this strategy. This is why we have a big number of initiatives that now we are working very hard to implement. Because as I said before, if this is a pivotal moment, we have to be very fast in terms of adopting it.
And in terms of Asseco as an industry player, what sort of challenges are you facing? Perhaps what kind of opportunities are you facing? Moving a little bit away from AI at the moment.
Everybody is saying that, so I will repeat this. Of course, the cybersecurity is a huge topic, and we have to be ahead of the actions of the other people that are trying to mess with our tools. The regulations are also very challenging, and the way that we are addressing it is also something that we have to focus. We have to be very precise. You know, the developers are not the lawyers. Sometimes the interpretation of certain regulations is very hard, and the way that we are putting this into the world in terms of our software is something that we have to be always looking at. But beyond that, I would say that we're looking into a future with a very positive outlook. We like what is happening. We really love the fact that technology is becoming more and more common. We love the fact that it's getting easier to deliver tools. Again, the application that I've been talking about, the one that is doing these things for KNF, actually, previously, a couple of years ago, it would take us months to deliver something like that. Now we've been able to do it in 3 months. So the time of delivering something valuable is actually completely different now.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us, Grzegorz Paskudzki, Business Consulting Director at Asseco. Pleasure to speak to you. And this is where we wrap up World Talks from the European Financial Congress in Sopot. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for more exclusive interviews on TVP World. Goodbye.